What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is UnrealStudioEnt, and welcome back to another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week. Welcome back, everybody, to another awesome episode here today, the second week of June. June is just rolling on in really fast. I mean, the week just literally flew by for me. It sucks. It sucks because before you know it, we're going to have snow again, and I really don't want to see snow for a while. So, I mean, we had enough of that early throughout the year. This year, including the first day of spring, it snowed on the first day of spring. Like, what kind of shit is that? So, I mean, but either way, some really awesome games coming out this year that I am really looking forward to. Halo 5, Guardians, Black Ops 3. I mean, even movies like Star Wars Episode 7 and a whole bunch of other stuff such as, I believe another Paranormal Activity might be coming out this year or not next year. Either way, some really awesome stuff. So before I begin, everybody, once again, I do want to say, if you guys haven't already gone on ahead and done so, please go on ahead and check out my second channel. The link will be in the comment section below at UnrealEnt Network. On that channel, guys, you will find a whole bunch of awesome discussions, a whole bunch of awesome goodies on there, such as Dragon Ball Z What If Battles, Grand Theft Auto 5, Call of Duty, Resident Evil, a whole bunch of other stuff on there as well that will not get featured on here. And I mean, it's early in the morning right now, so I have so much time. So I was thinking about going on ahead and just playing Battlefield all day today because, believe it or not, guys, that game is just so fun to play, especially Hardline. Battlefield Hardline is such a fun game to play when you have cops and robbers and blood money, all that kind of stuff. If you guys saw my previous, Battlefield videos, you guys would know. But either way, let's begin with our first question of the fan mail, and it is from Child of God. Hey Alex, what's up, man? I truly enjoy your content both here and on Instagram. Thank you, man. It is so awesome to see you interact with your fans, bro. Nobody else does what you do. How was your match with Caleb Conley, though? It was really good, man. Let me just say. That video is up on my wrestling channel, at AlexMason47. Anyways, here are my questions. Here we go. Question number 1. How often do you get sleep, man? Good question. It seems like you're always up doing something productive late in the early hours. Question 2. What do you think about Call of Duty having its own zombie game one day? Would it work? Question 3. Scorpion versus Spider-Man. Who would win? Last question. Universal battle. The Pokemon universe versus the Yu-Gi-Oh universe. Oh, shit. Thanks, Alex. Love you, man. Love you too, bro. God bless you. To answer your first question, how often do I get sleep? You're the only one that's ever asked me that. And I think you're the only one that probably even knows. Yeah, I rarely get sleep, man. I don't think that's good at all. I'm surprised that I'm not dead. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm so surprised that I'm not dead due to just overexhaustion. I rarely get any sleep, man. I really don't. I probably sleep about a good 5 to 6 hours a day. And I have to wake up every day to go to work and whatnot. So it's really taking a toll on my body, especially going to the gym and wrestling and getting a little bit of sleep. I don't know what that can do to you in the long run. If anybody has any information, let me know, because I really ought to catch up on my sleep. Sometimes on weekends, I literally wake up, I get on, I'm about to make a few videos, and I just pass out due to just being exhausted so much. So yeah, I mean, I rarely get any sleep, man. I know it's not good, but I just have that mentality of being successful, because I remember a status quo that Jay-Z had a long time ago saying that, if you sleep too much, you begin to lose all the opportunities that you would potentially have if you're awake. And I do believe that, because I do believe in success, and I do believe in hard work and work ethic and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I need to learn how to balance that out, because I'm rarely getting any sleep. And yes, I'm always doing something productive on Instagram for you guys, on here, trying to do fan interactions, fan mail, Dragon Ball Z battles, Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, E3 coverage, and all that kind of stuff. It's really hard, but you know what? I enjoy what I do. I love talking to you guys. I love interacting with you guys. I love reading your mangas, your comments, your discussions, your theories. It's all fun to me. I love that stuff. So, but I get rarely any sleep, man. So if I just happen to go missing one day and not come on YouTube anymore, it's because I died from overexhaustion, just being so fucking tired all the time. To answer your second question, Call of Duty having its own standalone zombie game, that would be awesome. I think that'll be really cool. A lot of us have been always wanting to see that. I don't think it's going to happen, because they don't see any market value in the multiplayer. They don't see any marketability in anything else, pretty much, aside from that, because what draws Call of Duty in is the multiplayer, not so much the campaign. I mean, how many people out there were ever so excited to play a Call of Duty campaign? Oh man, Black Ops 3 is coming out, guys. That campaign, though. Nobody cares about zombies or multiplayer. It's that campaign, though. That campaign. It's like, nobody really cares about campaign as much. You know, when it comes to Black Ops, I think campaign is definitely last. It's either zombies first, multiplayer second, or multiplayer first, zombies second, campaign last. But for Call of Duty to have their own standalone zombie game, they should do that. The story's there, the history is there, the characters are there, the maps are there. So I really don't see why they wouldn't do that. You know, like it's great for business. It'll definitely spark a lot of interest for their, you know, marketable assets. It'll definitely bring in revenue, like in terms of cash. Like if they want to make money, they'll make a whole lot of money. Yeah, not everybody's a zombie fan, so anybody watching this right now who's not a zombie fan, they might disagree. They might say, oh, well, zombies is so stupid. Zombies is this, zombies is that. And it's true. There have been many people that have really resented zombies in Call of Duty because they felt as if it was a cheap cash out. Even dating back to World at War. I'll never forget when World at War had like its own zombie mode. I was like, oh my god, you know, like this is really cool. But I mean, for it to have its own zombie game, would it work? Yeah, it really would, because the story introduction is there, and they could actually tie that in with so much and then expand that even more. I mean, we don't know what Black Ops 3 has to offer, at least not yet, but whatever it has to offer, it's going to be great because of what they have going on behind it. So, and to answer your final question, Spider-Man versus Scorpion, that is actually a little difficult. Spider-Man is pretty fucking strong. Spider-Man is immensely strong. Scorpion is very strong as well. But for this one, I would have to say that the winner would probably be Spider-Man because of his Spidey instincts and the fact that he's able to just maneuver a lot faster than Scorpion, and I think that would be the downfall of Scorpion. If Scorpion's able to hook Spider-Man with his grapples and whatnot and just bring him down into hell with him, I think that's it for Spider-Man. But honestly, in terms of Scorpion versus Spider-Man, I would have to say Spider-Man. And to answer your last question, I forgot all about this one, the Yu-Gi-Oh universe versus the Pokemon universe. This is hard. This is very hard to dictate. I really don't know. I honest to God don't know. I do want to say the Pokemon universe because they possess characters that have you know, abilities for telekinesis, and they have abilities to warp time and space and matter, and they're able to pretty much maneuver the elements of ice, water, and all that kind of stuff. So I really don't know, man. I would have to say the Pokemon universe, but then again, over on the Yu-Gi-Oh universe side of things, you have Obelisk the Tormentor, you have Scyther the Sky Dragon, you have with Wind Dragon and Raw, you have Exodia, you have Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, you have the Guilford Knight, you have Chaos Emperor Dragon, you have Blackluster Soldier, you have all these freaking awesome ass, you know, cards and monsters that would really step up against a lot of these, you know, monsters from Pokemon, you know, like such as Mewtwo, Entei, Raikou, Charizard, Blastoise, Celebi, you know, Typhlosion, Feraligatr. You have, I mean, like, it'll really be an epic matchup, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't know. For me, it's just it's hard. I would have to say the Pokemon universe. But in any instance, just let me know what you guys think. The Pokemon universe, the Yu-Gi-Oh universe, and also let me know why. I'm really curious to hear why, because this is like a great battle. Like, this is like a huge ass battle. So I really want to know what you guys have to say between Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. So anyways, Mr. Child of God, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a very awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from David Beloved. Alex, what's up, bro? It's finally awesome to do this. I've been hesitant, but not anymore. It's always great to see you do stuff like this, so here are my questions if you don't mind. I don't mind at all, man. Question number 1. What are your thoughts on technology in the future? Do you believe that society will become lazy and engulfed by their own pride to realize how the world truly works? Example, machines that you walk into for instant haircuts, instant body modifications like muscular or weight loss, eye color changes, etc. Okay. Question number 2, Demigra versus Omega Shenron, and question number 3, Kid Goku from GT versus Beerus. Okay, well, to answer your first question, we have already become lazy as a society. The reason why I say that is because we are always looking down. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's very simple. We're always looking at our phones. We have all of the possible technologies in the world to connect with one another, and yet we have never been more disconnected in our entire existence. For me personally, I feel as if the future is going to be very bright, but at the same time, the future is going to be very grim. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, people get lazy. People don't want to do certain things. I mean, people always tend to just, circulate around their phones. And, even when people give you that lame-ass excuse, oh, I didn't see your text, I didn't see your phone call, bullshit, because we have our phones on us about, 22 to 23 hours a day. So for me personally, technology is going to be great, especially if you have these machine-like, gadgets where you're able to step into and get like an instant haircut. How awesome would that be? Like, you don't have to worry about waiting hours for a barber to cut your hair when you can have like instant haircuts. You pay a certain amount, you go in there and it pretty much gives it to you, and that's it. Or same thing goes with applying your weight. Like how awesome would it be if you had to, dish out a certain amount of money or whatever the case may be, and you're able to pretty much dictate what kind of body you want. If you want to be muscular, if you want to be taller, shorter, if you want to have, 100 pounds removed of fat, if you want to be skinny, if you do want to be fat, like either way, that stuff like that is really cool. But at the same time, it becomes very dangerous because people become very distant with one another, and I really don't know how many of you guys can connect with this, but how many friends have you had in your entire life where you can compare to back when you were a kid, and you can see the connection between both when you were a kid to where you are at now, like the level of friendship, like some people might say, oh, my friendship is a lot better today because of all the, connections we have through Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and texting and stuff like that, where as opposed to before, we had to make phone calls and we had to like wait ages to see each other. Either way, back then it meant more because in today's day and age, we tend to take technology and just, become very lazy with it. So, technology is going to be great. The technology that we have coming out is going to be fantastic. I'm just worried about, RFID chips and, implantable chips, because I really don't believe in anybody that should be able to have anything implanted in them. That's just fucking horrible. That's wrong. That's inhuman. Why would you want to have anything implanted in you is beyond me. But will people be blinded by their own pride to realize how the world truly works? I mean, I think people are blinded now by the way the world works, and they're so distraught by their own ego that they don't see the way things are. It's just, I can go on for days about this because it's really messed up to think about that. And no, I'm not trying to say that we're gonna have a Terminator-like future where robots are gonna take over and we're gonna fight for our very existence. I don't believe that, nor would I want to see that. But in terms of us being lost as a society and disconnecting, yeah, I do believe that 100%. To answer your second question, Demigra versus Omega Shenron, that is a very good question. Based off of what we saw so far, I would have to go with Omega, because Demigra didn't really do anything that was so impressive. He didn't really beat any of the gods. He didn't do anything. He was just able to manipulate you and control you, and that was pretty much it. In a one-on-one fight, whether or not Demigra transforms or not, I still feel as if Omega Shenron would still beat his ass. So for me, I would have to go with Omega Shenron. And to answer your final question, again, I will say Beerus, because even though Kid Goku's power has increased a lot in GT, I would still have to go with Beerus. There's no way anybody is going to touch a deity. There's absolutely no way. I mean, we're talking about deities here. Beerus would crush the entire GT roster, aside from probably Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which would be a great fight. But either way, I would say Beerus would crush Goku easily. So anyways, my friend, once again, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a very, very awesome day, my friend. So now moving on to the next question, which is from Blake. Hey, Alex, got some fan mail for you. Also, keep up with the great wrestling work, man. You're truly a rare talent in the indies. Thank you, Blake. Question number 1, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Toy Story 4 movie? I personally cannot wait because we'll finally get to find out what happens to Andy, Buzz, and Woody. And what are your thoughts? Question number 2, what are your thoughts on a possible Michael vs. Jason movie in 2018/2019? Well, to answer your first question, fuck that shit. I mean, they should have left it at Toy Story 3. Why in the world are they going to do a 4th movie? Why? Explain that to me. It's because the 3rd movie did so good, they're obviously going to go on ahead and make a 4th movie. It makes no sense. Andy went to college. Buzz and Woody are home now, so it's like, what's the point? I mean, It just baffles the ever so living crap out of me. It's like, why are they going to go on ahead and make a fourth movie? What's going to happen now? What, is Andy going to come back from college? I mean, is Andy going to graduate college? He's going to be a man. He's going to be a fucking middle-aged man. It's like, why in the world are they going to go on ahead and do that? You know what I'm saying? So what's the story between Buzz and Woody now? Like, what's their new adventure going to be? It makes no sense to me. I mean, I have nothing against Toy Story. I love Toy Story. I loved all 3 movies, including the Halloween special. But either way, it's like, why make a 4th Toy Story movie when you ended it off on such a good note? I don't know, man. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. Toy Story 1 was such a special moment when everybody was first introduced. Same thing applies for Toy Story 2. And then we had Toy Story 3, the be-all, end-all. And the way they capitalized on everything was really, really good. And then the way they closed it off was very special. You see, you know, Woody just sitting there with Buzz as they watch Andy drive off in the distance, and Woody goes on to go and say, you know, so long, partner, and then, you know, Buzz hugs him, and they go back in the house and they do their thing, you know. So it's like, what's going to happen in the 4th movie? Like, why is there going to be a 4th movie in the first place? It makes no sense to me. Granted, I may be ranting right now, but it's because, you know, I loved Toy Story 3 so much that I really don't want to see it go down the way it is right now. I mean, obviously, I mean, this movie has to be the be-all, end-all then, unless, of course, they try to do Toy Story 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and that's going to completely ruin the entire franchise. So, my thoughts are, yes, I'm going to go see it. I'm a little excited because, I mean, I really want to know what happens next. But, you know, the other 97% of me is just, like, all against it. It's like, why are they going to take something that ended off so great and they're going to ruin it now? So, I don't know. I mean, that's just my personal take on Toy Story right now, because the way they finished off Toy Story 3 was just special. It really was special. And for them to make a 4th movie now, it just doesn't make any sense. And to answer your second question, thoughts on a possible Michael versus Jason movie in 2018/19, I mean, I'm all for it, man. I would love there to be a Michael versus Jason film, because we've all have been wanting to see it for such a long time. I mean, every single, you know, movie fan out there has always wanted to see something like this go down, and finally we might have it go down. But at the same time, it's like, would it make sense? Some people are saying that it's fake. I mean, either way, if it's fake or not, I still want to be able to see that, because after Freddy versus Jason, they had so much potential for them to just, you know, go on ahead and make more out of that, you know. Like, I personally would love to see Michael versus Jason, because both of them have so many similarities. They're both very quiet, they're both very sadistic and sinister. Of course, you know, Jason having his own, you know, backstory, and Michael having his. Having those two kind of, you know, stories, you know, just cross within each other would be absolutely awesome. So I mean, I don't know. For me, like, it'll be awesome to see. And of course, I firmly believe, as if, like, you know, Michael versus Jason would be better than Freddy versus Jason. I mean, that's just my personal take on it. So I don't know, man. I mean, I would love to see it, but then again, I really doubt that it may happen, unless, of course, these Hollywood writers and Hollywood directors and stuff actually go about to make it. I really don't think that we're gonna see it, just because it's not marketable, quote unquote, in the US or anywhere else, unless, of course, they build a really good story around it. In the end, I would love to see them clash, and it's kind of hard picking a winner, because I don't know, for me, like I said, I think Jason might win, just because he does a little more than Michael, even though they're both pretty much invincible, and they're like walking corpses, like they're pretty much unstoppable zombies. Either way, it's like, I would love to see how exactly they would battle, and who would be able to bring them both down, if that's even possible. So Michael versus Jason, I think 2018 is a very good slate to have that happen. It's not too late, it's not too early. It's just right there, you know, because I heard that, you know, Friday the 13th might come out in 2016. So if that's the case, they can have Halloween come out in 2017, and then, you know, finally Michael versus Jason in 2018. I think that would be pretty cool. So I don't know, that's just my intake on it. I mean, it may happen, it may not happen, who knows? I mean, would I like it to happen? Hell yeah, because it's something different for once. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have an extremely, extremely awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Mr. Paul. Alex, I freaking love you, man. Your videos make my day, bro. Thank you, man. I have some questions for fan mail, so let's go. Question number 1. Last song you listened to and why? Question number 2. How do you think the PS5 and Xbox will be in the future and operate? Question 3. The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers versus Freddy Krueger. Question 4. If you could sit there and play 2 of the following games for the rest of your life, what would they be? And the games are GTA Vice City, GTA 3, Spyro 2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, Twisted Metal, WWE Here Comes the Pain, Tony Hawk Underground, Need for Speed Underground 2, GTA San Andreas, Mortal Kombat, the original, Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Incredible Hulk, or Metal Gear Solid 3. Damn, that is a hard-ass fucking choice. Holy shit. Anyways, thank you, Paul. To answer your first question, the last song I listened to was the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song, which was by Van Halen. It's called Dreams. It's a really cool-ass song. I actually thought about that song while I was going to work. I was thinking about the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger theme song, and I was always like, what's that one song that they had where it played and it was just so awesome? So I looked it up, and it was by Van Halen, and I was listening to that, and it was like so cool. So if you guys want to go on ahead and look it up, it's called Dreams by Van Halen. Pretty cool song. Aside from that, I was listening to Millions by Pusha T. And then the song after that, I was listening to Sorry for the Wait 2 by Lil Wayne. And then the final song that I listened to, it was Far Away by Red. Very, very good song. Very, very awesome-ass rock band. So, yeah, those were the songs I last listened to. To answer your second question, PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, well, I mean, we're currently in our generation of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So, to have a PlayStation 5 and another Xbox in the future, how would they operate? I think this generation might be the last generation for CDs. Not entirely too sure. Don't quote me on that. But I think the next generation is going to be like all digital downloads. I mean, it's hard because like how would they operate? Definitely operate a lot better than these. Damn, but like, aren't they currently working on like the whole virtual reality simulator thing? Like you put that little helmet on and you can actually be in the game and stuff like that. I mean, obviously there are certain prototypes in the works right now. They're working on getting stuff that doesn't really necessarily mess with your brain and give you brain cancer or whatever the case may be. And that'll really suck if you want to play a game and it gives you just all sorts of, you know, disorders and stuff. I really hope not. But PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox are going to be like extremely awesome when they come out in the future. They're obviously going to be futuristic, and for all intents and purposes, I think both consoles are going to be extremely good. Extremely different than the ones we have now, per se. I definitely feel as if CDs are going to be done. We're only going to get digital downloads. I mean, that's just my personal intake on this. And perhaps they're going to give you like maybe 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, 3 terabytes of memory in your console. That way they allow you to consistently just download games. But what really sucks is the fact that if your system breaks, there goes all your games that you paid a lot of your hard-earned money for. So that's what I feel like is the problem in the future, is going to be like, because you know DVDs and CDs are going to be obsolete. You already know that. They're already planning on making things digital. Everything is digital download. Everything is digital operated. So I think the PS5 and the new Xbox are going to be digitally installed with games and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's all I can say as of right now. I really don't know where they're going to go with anything else. But yeah, that's just my personal take on that. To answer your third question, the Creeper versus Freddy Krueger. That's very interesting. The Creeper can't die either way. I mean, we saw that in both Jeepers Creepers films. And Freddy Krueger cannot die in the dream world, but he could die in real life. So I would have to go with the Creeper. If Freddy Krueger gets a hold of the Creeper in his dream world, then yeah, the Creeper's pretty much finished. Freddy can do whatever he wants to him. He can rip him apart. He can like strangle him to death. He can do whatever the case may be with him in the dream world, depending on whether or not the Creeper is affected by it. But the Creeper, I think, in the real world would totally decimate Freddy Krueger. There's no way. Freddy may have those you know, sharp ass knives for his fucking gloves, but either way, it's really not gonna work against the Creeper, because the Creeper has been harpooned in the head. He was decapitated. He was shot. He was ran over. You know, like, so that this dude can survive a lot. You know, I really doubt Freddy can either. So if you throw Freddy in the real world, his ass would get freaking mauled quicker than you can possibly believe. So I think Freddy would definitely lose in terms of that aspect. So in the dream world, I would say Freddy, and in reality, I would definitely go with the Creeper, because the Creeper is a really, really great villain. He's a very great character. If anybody has any Jeepers Creepers 3 information, let me know, because I'm still waiting on that damn film. And to answer your final question, that is hard, man. Holy shit. If I had to choose 2 different routes to go with, I would either go with Route A, and that being Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Need for Speed Underground 2. Or I would go down route number 2 and allow it to be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and WWE Here Comes the Pain. Those would be my only 2 routes. Of course, I would love to pick another game, but of course, I don't know, like Vice City to me, if I had to explain the first route, Vice City was such an impactful game for me. It was the first ever GTA game that I played fully. I remember I got it for my birthday. I loved the game so much. Even till this day, it holds a very, significant place in my heart. The music in that game, nobody can fuck with the music in Vice City. Nobody. That game had the best music. The story was so good. At the time, the graphics were so good for me. I was mind blown. Grand Theft Auto Vice City to me was everything a child could ever want in a video game. And no, it was a violent game and I was never corrupted by it. So for anybody out there who wants to blame video games for corruption, they're fucking stupid. And as for Need for Speed Underground 2, that was my favorite racing game. It still is to this day. The customizable options in that game, the amount of epic racing that they had, everything about Need for Speed Underground 2 screams superiority over anything else. I remember I used to just sit there and just race my car over and over and over again, like just for no fucking reason. It was just that fun. If they were to remake that game, I would definitely play that over and over and over again, but Need for Speed Underground 2 was definitely the best racing game ever, and I remember just sitting there like souping up my car with turbo and NOS and all that kind of stuff. It was just amazing. So I would have to say those 2. And if I had to say why for my second route, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I remember I used to spend hours. Just popping in cheat codes and just like unlocking all sorts of abilities, how to jump really high in the air and how to crush buildings and allow your car to float on water and stuff like that. Like, it was so cool. San Andreas had such a cool story. It had some really good music. The gameplay was way better than Vice City's. It had so much to offer, so many guns, so many awesome things to do. Burglary missions, I remember I used to do that a lot. I remember I always used to go to the Las Vegas Strip, and I used to just go around on the pyramid and start shooting people with snipers and stuff. It was so cool, having the tanks spawn, having RPGs and jetpacks and all that kind of stuff, like traveling in the middle of the woods and just going out there and just exploring. It was so cool. So San Andreas was definitely one game that I played for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours as a kid. I remember I used to play that game so much that I remember I used to just sit there from day to dawn, just playing that game over and over again. And WWE Here Comes the Pain was one of the best wrestling games ever, because it was the first time where you were able to do so much of the things you were able to do in that game, including the Elimination Chamber, including, storing infinite finishers, and right off the bat, like, that game was just so awesome because you could do whatever you want from the get-go. The gameplay cinematics were great. Everything about WWE Here Comes the Pain was amazing. The campaign was awesome. I used to play that shit over and over again with my customized character with The Rock and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there are certain games that hold a very significant place in my heart, and that game was definitely one of them. So I don't know. I mean, I would have to say, man, this is hard. You know what? I might go with route number 2. I don't know. Like, both routes are just really awesome to me. So I would have to say route 2. I don't know, like, just I'm going back on based off of all the things that I've done and played, so I would have to say route 2. So San Andreas and Here Comes the Pain is definitely one of them. So Anyways, my friend, once again, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a very, very awesome and special day. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this episode of Fan Mail of the Week. My name is UnrealEntGaming. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit it up or like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below along with your questions. I will try to get to everybody. It is extremely hard to get to everybody because everybody has so many questions, and I'm getting them on Facebook, I'm getting them on YouTube and stuff like that, even sometimes on Instagram. So I will try to get to everybody weekly. I always try my best, so I really hope you guys appreciate that. Check out UnrealEnt Network if you guys haven't already done so. Lots of awesome content on there that you will not find on here. Content with Edgar, content with 3-man broadcast, content with Les Mis World Jessica, content with Action Saying Gamer, the weird podcast. We have lots of different stuff on there that's really cool. So anyways, guys, once again, thank you for the questions. Thank you for the responses. I hope you guys checked out my previous episodes. They're amazing. As always, I try. So once again, everybody, stay tuned for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.